Are you ready to dive in the world of project management? Hit that subscribe button as we explore how to stay relevant in an agile workforce. It's been back to school time frame, so I know a lot of people have been thinking about pictures and, getting that Kodak moment and seeing your kids. And trust me, I already saw some photos and some of the proofs and, thinking about potential retakes. And I was like, no, these are good. We'll see. We can keep this. Every year is not going to be perfect, but I think a lot of people look for that Kodak moment. And speaking of which, I want to talk about Kodak and how they made a digital camera project fail completely. I mean, they succeeded with the project. They got it patented. They were one of the first to get a digital camera patented. Think about it. You get something patented, you bring it to market. Kodak moment. How did this project fail? Well, stay tuned. They made you think that they were all about innovation, adapting, evolving, being there for the future. But in fact, they were very predictive. They were basically like a construction company, operating very bureaucratic, corporate. No, this is what we do. They thought they were an organization that was untouchable. And in 2012, they went bankrupt because that project that got patented back in 1975, 1977, from a person that just got out of college, basically took them down. That individual, Steve Sasson, like I mentioned, he was a young individual and he was assigned his first project to develop a digital camera. I can't even imagine. He probably had a lot of doubts, fears, anxiousness, but guess what? He developed something and it worked. Now, trust me, I looked at it online. It doesn't look anything like you think it would. It was over 8 pounds. I mean, my goodness, no one can carry something like that. That's like a weight. What are you gonna be doing? But anyway, it was one of the first and it was patented. I'm sure that he was very happy. But upper level management, they were like, no, let's keep this under. Let's not let the American citizens know about this great wonder. Fast forward. Past the 1980s, past the 1990s, digital cameras started coming out from Sony, Canon, started capturing some of that market from Kodak. And then next thing you know, this digital age, things start going to MySpace, Facebook. People are not relying upon photos that are being printed out and getting developed, which was like literally Kodak's market share from the 1800s. And they started to crumble. They dismantled. The innovation that they had in the 1970s that they held literally locked in the basement because they didn't want anyone to see. This innovation that they were like, let's just keep this trapped on the doors. We are on the top. Everyone else, they probably had some other companies. They probably kept it seeing other things on the news. I'm sure. Obviously, I wasn't alive during this time frame. But obviously, I grew up thinking Kodak moment still. But now, because even during the 2010s, right before they were trying to see if they could make another breath of fresh air, they started trying to double down and sell printers, of all things. And I can tell you that was the last gasp of fresh air because I was in that market selling copiers, working for a Xerox company. And we're in a digital age. Let's face it. People don't want to see resumes on paper. They would rather shred that. I'm just going to keep it real with you. People don't necessarily want a business card. They'd rather connect with you on LinkedIn. I'll just be real with you. They'll take it at an event, but it's not something that they're going to keep for long periods of time. So it's a completely different era. Kodak failed to see the vision was going to change. They were satisfied with where they were at. They thought, we're good. We owned the market share in 1975, but they didn't think that they were going to be gone very quickly. So that's one thing I would definitely want to tell people. You always want to think, you could be that person. You could be Steve Sasson. You can be the person that has that innovation. Hey, you want to be able to innovate, but also those companies that say, hey, we're all about innovation. In my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, being too adaptive is too risky, because then you're always just, incremental, and you're just versioning, you're just almost in startup mode. You somewhat have to have some things in operations. So more of a hybrid approach, where you have some sort of templates, you have some sort of, it looks like a PMO infrastructure. That's more of a hybrid approach. That's what is looked at from from a development approach. But I can tell you, on the outside, Kodak was like, oh, we're leading in innovation, in photography, oh, digital. But they were very predictive, and it sunk them. They should have been more hybrid. They were like, no, this is what we do. We're very templated. Let's focus on our templates. We do what we do. And then they doubled down right before they failed, and they got crushed because they tried to double down and invest in the printers. And that took them out. I mean, they're still afloat in some different way, today, but it's nowhere near like they were before. And this message is to not only just to individuals, but also to organizations that try to say, hey, we're always about cutting edge and innovation. Sometimes it's better just even to scale it back and say, hey, let's take more of a hybrid approach. There are some best of both worlds. So that's my lesson for today. Some may take a preference towards another, but as we see in predictive projects, a lot of them lead to failure, especially in construction. So I think more of a hybrid approach is much better. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more project management content. See you on the next one.